And joining us now is international affairs analyst Chukwuemeka Eze. He's in the studio right here with me. Thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you for inviting me.
And now, while a number of people are not surprised that Nigeria has made this list, first we're talking about very particular countries, but now we have made the list of the ban. But countries with a partial visa ban, I mean, Nigeria has been named. Do you think that this is inevitable? The country is out of that list. Maybe, do you think for any reason would not have made that list? And should it have made that list actually as a country?
Actually, we made the list based on data and the factors they considered. But series of events, the background before this, put us in the searchlight that most likely will make the list. So look at on October 31, 2025, Nigeria was named a country of particular concern. And since then, we've been in the eye of the global public as a country that has allegedly committed genocide. And for context, genocide or an allegation of it is a very serious matter. Just because Israel was accused of genocide, despite the support of the United States, Israel is still feeling the hunt because of its case or that of its key officials at the International Criminal Court. So once genocide is mentioned, anything can follow it, because the Genocide Convention of 1948 makes that international crime one of universal jurisdiction. So, though without further deviation, I'm just giving a background in international law to show that if a country has traveled through this route, especially with the United States, definitely how will it escape this kind of being declared? We even survived full ban. So perhaps because of that.
Well, if you look at it, U.S. President Donald Trump said that the reason for this slight ban is because of Boko Haram presence and probably this overstay of some of the citizens. But when you look at the security aspect of it, one will ask, shouldn't the leaders be the ones to be affected since they have the sole responsibility of keeping Nigerians safe?
No, in international law, that's not how it works. It is in rare occasions that you select the leaders, especially when they have personally committed international crimes. Yes, we have series of cases in that direction. But this is country-to-country relations. This is state relations. So it is not individual-to-individual relations. So that will form an exception. And more so when they don't name particular targets, so they will have discretion. So it will be it's an elastic situation, so they can do what they want within that bracket. So they are not supposed to name particular leaders. More so when remember Proclamation 10949 named states. This proclamation, I think 14161, named states. So the whole gamut of that proclamation deals with states. So it will be going outside the law of the United States to now use that particular one to zero in on individuals.
Okay. But with Nigeria now facing these partial restrictions, especially in overstay rates, we saw the numbers there, very high numbers. What impact will this have on education, travel, business investments between Nigeria and the United States?
Yes, that number, for me, it's not very high because there are countries there with 13 point something overstay. I don't think it's very high, but basically, remember, it is not just for that. They linked it, it is in addition to the activities of what they called Boko Haram, ISWAP, and all that. So they are not mutually exclusive. So one side of the coin, security issues that will make it difficult for them to actually verify or vet people applying for these visas. On the other hand, overstay. Going by your question, is going to affect Nigeria. Nigeria depends so much on, many Nigerians depend on utilizing their education system. We have so many brothers and sisters there, even repatriation of funds. Besides that, on the African scale, it's going to affect the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, which is to be reviewed this year. Remember, AGOA was enacted in May 2000 in the United States, expired September this year, and is supposed to be renewed this year by Congress for it to last for any particular period. But it is hanging in most of these African countries that should have been lobbying for AGOA to be passed, they are now having problems with the United States.
And now with the full ban on some of these African countries that were mentioned, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and South Sudan, what does that say in terms of regional stability in Africa, especially as they are now fragile states? What's the relationship?
It's going to affect our representation in the global space. Remember that the United Nations Organization, World Bank, IMF, even the SWIFT, when you are giving bank account international, they give you the SWIFT number. It's stationed in the United States. Many activities globally are stationed in or who have something to do with the United States. So I think it's going to affect our representation in global affairs, although it has not stopped our diplomats from going there. But usually, our diplomats, many times they go there, they go with a lot of people. Many of those people who are non-diplomats will be considered non-essential. And many of them will not be granted visa. So it's going to affect us in so many ways. And it's like we have a blot on the escutcheon. We are a blot on their escutcheon. So it's just like somebody, you say this one seems to have leprosy or HIV, the way people avoid. Yeah. So they will be treating many of these African, and in the international space, if you want to enter into certain contracts, and it is discovered that you have this baggage, it's now the diplomatic baggage, definitely is going to affect the way other members of the global community relate with you. Finally, if you want to purchase military hardware, many of them that have their spare parts traceable to the United States, there's usually in the military agreement that before the country they sold it to can sell to you, that you must get their permission. So if you are banned, how will they easily grant you permission?
All right. Thank you very much. International Affairs Analyst Chukwuemeka Eze, thanks a lot for your time and your contribution on Network Africa.
All right. Thank you.